let's just jump in here and do it. Welcome back to the Pop, also known as the Preston Outdoors podcast. I am your host, Ethan Preston. And if you guys are watching on YouTube and stuff like that, as you can see here, affectionately, we do not have a great studio set up, but we're just kind of getting set up, dive into this thing here. It'll be interesting. This is something I want to do for quite a while now. Finally, sitting down and actually having time to do it and see how this is going to go. But traditional first episode for podcast. My name is Ethan Preston. I'm from North Dakota. Grew up in Tower City, North Dakota. Eastern side of the state, stuff like that. Enjoyed hunting and fishing from day one. Went to Maple Valley High School and graduated there. And I went and played college football at Valley City State University. Went and got a 4-year degree there. Bachelor's in Fisheries and Wildlife Science with a concentration of environmental law officer. Basically, I wanted to be a game warden, and that's what I went to school with. Played 4 years of college football as well. Ended up being team captain my last year and played a little bit of linebacker on defense there. So that's kind of my history to this. If you guys haven't already, hopefully there's some cross promotion here going on here from the Preston Outdoors YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out all the social media aspects there. But why a podcast? I mean, there's a little bit of information, but why a podcast? I mean, I run now 3 different Instagram pages. I have a Facebook page. I have a YouTube channel that I try and post on more and more. Why a podcast? I get asked that a lot, or people are like, why don't you just go ahead and do it? Well, I don't have enough time to do it basically in the first place. But why a podcast? I feel this is a great outlet for me. I've told this to many, many people. And for my friends that are close by, and my brother included, they like to hunt, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for diving into the tournament fishing, besides the recreational fishing side of things, most of my friend buddies that are here aren't big fishermen, and that's totally fine. Most of my buddies that are big fishermen are across the United States. Minnesota, let's see where offhand, Minnesota, Texas, and Georgia, for the most part, are some dudes that I know and hopefully will be on the show here that love to fish. And so basically what we're going to do, I've got some things written down. Basically, this podcast is going to kind of be not all over the place. It's going to be outdoor related, but we are going to have a lot of topics that are going to pop up that I feel could be important, or they're going to go with the season. I mean, we're just going to jump all over the place. So it's basically, in my opinion, this podcast is going to be great for the overall outdoorsman, overall outdoorswoman, whatever, because fishing, hunting, we can talk about camping. All those things are going to be put together, and you're going to be switching with the seasons, or we're also going to be covering some aspects of the season that might not be most popular thing. Something that pops into my head is during the middle of summer, what's everybody doing? Most of the time they're fishing, but I got guys that I know, they're preseason scouting for bow hunting. What are guys doing in November? Most of the time you're duck hunting, deer hunting, stuff like that. I got guys that are still out in their boat trying to catch fish. So I think it'll be a great show to where we can cover different things and be able to have people look outside the box kind of thing. And my big hope for this thing, let's look at my notes here. We got topics: hunting, fishing, multi-species fishing, tournament fishing, ice fishing, camera setups, filming, social media. We've got recreational hunting on here, all different kinds of species, big game, small game, all this stuff. It's just basically what I enjoy, or some things that I may enjoy I'm not super confident in. Bow hunting, for instance, I can call up some guys. We're going to get on here and we're going to talk about these kinds of things. So, I mean, waterfall hunting, hunting, I've got waterfall, big game, upland, dog training, stuff like that. Just a bunch of random subjects that I've written down that we're going to be able to dive into. Another thing I want to do with this podcast is teach people things. I really enjoy taking people out hunting. I really enjoy taking people fishing, learning the basics of how to cast, where to cast, different aspects of the very basics of fishing, the very basics of hunting. So we're going to do all of it. So that way, if you're a new listener and you're just getting into the outdoors, you want to learn how to fish for walleyes. You want to learn how to bass fish. You want to learn how to target crappies. You want to learn how to track a blood trail for a deer. I mean, some of the basic stuff that if you're a hardcore outdoorsman like myself, it's very basic. You learn as a child, whatever, but there are a lot of people out there to where they did not get that education as a child. They did not get that education as a kid. They picked up the outdoors later in life. I think it'd be a great aspect here to where we can expand on that. So, I mean, I like to fish for walleyes, not as much as I like to fish for bass, but I got some guys that are hardcore walleye guys. Get them in here, talk to them, and see what they how they would attack things a little bit differently. So I may be rambling here, but this is literally a year and a half project of where I threw around the idea. I should do a podcast. I should do this. I should do that. Oh man, that'd be a great subject for this. And basically everybody's like, why not? I mean, when it comes to something I'm passionate about, which is this in the outdoor industry, I can ramble on and on and on and on and on. Tons of great ideas have been thrown around. And I thought, well, you know what? Screw it. It's 2021. What do you really got to lose? You know? And the support of my friends, support of my family, what the heck, you know? So we're going to get some people on here. Hopefully they'll be able to experience and share a bunch of their lifelong experiences or things that you can learn off the cuff and be able to, I mean, one is obviously we're going to learn things. I'm going to learn things, so hopefully I can do a good job being interview these people and get some good information out for you. So I'm going to try and learn things as long as what you are. Think of questions that you may have. What we're going to also do have a setup here is, as I try not to get off topic, is we're going to have a blog set up on the Preston Outdoors website. You just go to PrestonOutdoors.com. There'll be a tab on there as blog. We're going to be posting all the podcasts on there, and then you're going to be able to comment under there, and you're going to be able to leave comments on the podcast, questions, stuff like that. Also, if you guys want to send me questions, it'll be Preston Outdoors 2@gmail.com. Send me some questions for the podcast. Send me some questions in general. I'll be able to email you back, and that's my official what do you call it? Official email address for that. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot, a little bit more over and over the years, what is Preston Outdoors? I really don't sell anything, don't have a product that that I can really market to people. There has been a couple, clothing, gear, that kind of thing that we've done right away from the get-go. But Preston Outdoors was an idea of, we'll get into this, but I think it's a great intro to see where I'm coming from here. Preston Outdoors was an idea that I came up with, probably in 2013. I was starting the second half of my first year at college at Valley City State. I actually got in touch with Johnny Candle, who's a professional walleye fisherman up at Devil's Lake. Got in touch with him. And I said, I want to entertain the idea of becoming a professional fisherman. How do I build my build? How do I do that? And he says, well, do you have a brand? Do you have any way to expose yourself? And no, I mean, I don't. Literally, when I started, I know zero people in the fishing industry, anything like that, official industry, tackle, tournament fishing, anything. I know zero people. I knew myself and what I wanted to do. So you'll hear this over and over again in different podcasts, but Johnny Candle has been very instrumental and very helpful. And I'll mention all the people down the way as much as I can who have been very helpful to me. But he was kind of the first guy I reached out to, professional walleye fisherman. My grandpa actually got his email. This is a funny story. Grandpa actually got his email from, I think it was Johnny's daughter or stepdaughter, who was working at Cabela's in Grand Forks in northeastern North Dakota. And my grandpa was getting line put on a reel or something like that. And he jokingly told her, he's like, hey, don't put it on too tight or whatever. Just having a good time. She goes, oh no, I know how to do this. I've worked here for X amount of years or whatever. And my dad or stepdad is a professional walleye fisherman. And my grandpa, I've always told my grandpa that that's what I want to do. If my dream job could be a professional fisherman, fish tournaments, be a guide, something like that. And he actually got Johnny's email address written down on the back of the slip from Cabela's that said how much line was put on whatever. She gave him another slip, gave me, I probably have my wallet. I think I still have in my wallet, but Johnny's email. So I actually, so it was the summer of 2013. I had just finished my first year of at Valley City State, and I still was, I think it was, yeah, I was still living. For some reason, I was in town, and I didn't have access to an email at the time. And my school computer, you had to give it back at the end of the year unless you did summer classes. Went into the Valley City State Library. It was open in the summertime after work. I'd go in there and I'd craft up um, an email. I didn't have an iPhone at the time, so all I had was my iPod that was connected to the email, and I didn't want to type on that. So I'd go in there, type up an email to Johnny, send it over, and I started asking all these questions. And basically, his first tip of advice that he's given me throughout all this so far is get your name out there, get exposed somehow. And he said back in his day, it was never say no to a news reporter, never say no to an article being written. Um, Maybe go out of your way to find somebody that can write an article for you to get your name out there in the paper, because that's how it was done back in the day. And he said, nowadays it's all about social media. Before this, I didn't get a Facebook until I was a senior in high school. Didn't see the point in it. And then until then, when I got it, it was literally because I had to download some stupid game on my iPad and it needed Facebook, or iPod at the time. Got Facebook, don't really care. All I do is post fishing and hunting stuff on there. Just basically, I used it as a brag board, and didn't really talk about it. Just post my pictures on there. One, because I have a tendency to lose phones, dropping them in the water down the ice hole. And so I can save my photos on there. And two, I can, that's my brag board. Hey, I've been catching these fish. I've been, being able to shoot pheasants, that kind of thing. And so, man, I was like, I don't know if I really want to get into this. I've always thought it would be fun to start a YouTube channel. I mean, what kid doesn't want to be on TV, Well, I was a little bit late to the YouTube game getting started, but I went, and my cousin actually had a GoPro, and he filmed some stuff when we were camping that summer. So in the process, I was emailing Johnny every other day. I'd get a notification or whatever, whenever he'd get back to me when he's busy guiding or doing tournaments, stuff like that. Whenever I get a notification, I go in, and in the process of that summer, my cousin made a video on with his GoPro of us. He was skateboarding, jumping off a bridge. We were playing volleyball as a family, vacation. And all of a sudden, man, that video looks awesome. Like I want to do that. Well, talking with Johnny, I mean, boom, 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 we fast forward another year, an early Christmas, birthday present, whatever, in the early summer, I think it was May of 2014, I asked my parents for a GoPro. I believe it was a GoPro Hero 3 Black Plus. That's what it came out with. And basically, I knew nothing about it. I read a little bit on the manual, and I said, screw it, we're going to go with it. And I started filming. Whatever, just filmed whatever. Didn't care about B-roll. All I wanted to see is myself set the hook. Didn't talk to the camera, didn't want to talk to it at all. And so then it slowly became to where I would put out these videos, very crude editing at the time, put these videos out and stuff like that. And then that's where Preston Outdoors was really born, circling all the way around in this long-winded topic here. But that's where Preston Outdoors was born. It was born with YouTube and trying to get these videos done. So I've got all these videos on my GoPro, don't have a laptop at the time. So I had to wait until I got back to school to upload these videos to a laptop, because the computer we had at my parents' house was not very good to be fast enough to be able to edit all that stuff. So I'm literally chomping at the bit, get back, start editing these videos that I shot over the summer. And it wasn't much. It was 2 to 3 bass fishing videos, and didn't really know what I was doing with it in the first place, but being able to take that back, edit those videos, and start putting out videos, and like you get 100 views here, you get 50 views here, and obviously, I mean, you're going to struggle. And I didn't have the other social media, so I promoted on my personal Facebook. Then someone said, you need to. It was my buddy Landon Freitas, played offensive line at Valley City State. He said, you should try and get into the Instagram game. And I said, that's just another thing I got to do. I mean, I'm trying to go to college, play football, do the YouTube thing, whatever, just getting into it, try it. So I got on Instagram. So that's where Preston Outdoors on Instagram, Preston Outdoors on Facebook, and on YouTube was really born. And that's what it is. Like, that's my history behind the whole Preston Outdoors is this is my brand. This is my way of getting out and exposing myself. Um, Hopefully putting out great content for you guys via pictures, videos, information, stuff like that. And now coming to this with an audio, basically an audio library or a video library that you'll be able to watch or listen to with whatever you're doing. And yeah, this is what I'm passionate about. I can get in a room with somebody and talk for 2-3 hours about this. And shoot, I'm sitting here looking at the computer, talking with you guys or who's ever wanted to listen. I can sit here and do a lot of that. So there's already over the last year, I've got a notebook full of ideas that have come up, ideas that I think, and I've just been on the, looking out and seeing different topics that haven't really covered or somebody covered that I've maybe got a different opinion on. And I think that it'll be a great platform for me to talk about it. Like I said, this is an outlet to where I can get on here with my buddies. We can share information. We can hopefully teach you stuff, learn you stuff like that. Now we got the option with the video. This whole studio thing or whatever it is, basically this is my office in my house. I mean, this is going to evolve. This is going to get better and better and better and better. And hopefully with the access to the computer, and when it comes summertime, we'll be able to shoot podcasts in the boat and stuff like that. So I'll be able to have hands-on and talk to you about all this stuff. But if you guys got any questions or comments or topics that you want to hear about, that you're passionate about, or just want to let me know how I'm doing, we're going to be, like I said, we're going to be able to send me an email at Preston Outdoors, PRESTON OUTDOORS, the number 2 at gmail.com. And yeah, or get a hold of me another way. I don't check my email a whole lot, but another way you can get on is on Facebook or Instagram, especially Instagram. I'm on there a lot. Just send me a DM, send me a direct message, say, hey, tell me what I'm doing on the podcast and give me some ideas to talk about. And yeah, it's going to be too much fun. I think this is definitely something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and we're going to learn, we're going to get through it. And not get through it. We're going to have a great time. Another thing for me to edit, which is fine. But again, this is a way for me, not only from the Preston Outdoors social media side, to get another avenue out there to hopefully get new followers, get new listeners, get new followers on all the social media. So that way I can grow my personal brand. But it's also a way to me to give back to the people that have supported me so far and following, liking, commenting on all my stuff. And you're going to get to know me a little bit more personally. And especially with the pandemic and stuff like that, a guy can't go out and go to a boat show and meet people or do this or do that. You'll be able to kind of take a glimpse to what I'm all about, and hopefully get to know some people, get to know me through the video or audio, whatever you're listening to. This will be just distributed on all the major podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, whatever, all that stuff. So we're going to be sending that out there. So that way you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And then hopefully when this stuff opens up and I'm going to be going to different shows, hopefully working with some companies and stuff like that, I'll be able to meet you in person, and we can go from there. But again, this is going to be way more awesome of a show if I can get fan engagement, if I can get you guys to questions you want to see. I mean, shoot, it's fishing, it's hunting. You want to learn or know about pronghorn hunting, wherever. Never shot a pronghorn, never hunted them. I'll find somebody that has, and we'll talk about it. You want to talk about what haven't I fished for? Haven't really targeted muskies or lake trout or salmon. I mean, all this, whatever, stripers, whatever you want to talk about. I will try my best to find somebody, and we'll get on here and talk about it, interview them, get some tips, tricks, nuggets of information that you can hopefully learn. The biggest thing for me is there's going to be laughs in this thing. What I'm hoping for is you're going to get information from it. This is not going to be a podcast where I'm going to interview one of my friends, Joe Schmo, down the street. I'm just going to ask him about his life, and I know everything about it, but I'm just exposing, just asking him about that. No, you're going to learn something about hunting. You're going to learn something about fishing, because I'm not going to get somebody on here and ask questions that I already know the answers to. There might be some that I'll know the answers to, but I am going to try and extract information from them and learn something new as well as you are. So I hopefully hopefully with that passion and that knowledge going in, that you're going to understand that this isn't just get together and talk with your buddies and stuff. Because I've listened to podcasts like that, and all they do is they interview their buddies or they interview somebody they never met, and it's just them talking about your life, and which is fine. You can learn about somebody, but I want to be able to learn about hunting. I want to be able to learn about fishing and become a better outdoorsman in general. And what my hope is someday, kind of like what they do on First Take or any of those sports, what do they call them? Not controversy shows, but debate shows, sports debate shows. Kobe Bryant versus Michael Jordan, LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. Who's the best? Tom Brady versus Joe Montana. I mean, basically, two guys have separate opinions and they're going back and forth each other, not being rude, not name calling, stuff like that, but spitting facts and then their personal opinions about things. I mean, I hope there's some topics of where we can get into that because honestly, I think in this world in general, there is nothing wrong with seeing both sides of the story. There's nothing wrong with, you know, reaching your hand across and understanding. I've got a buddy of mine that thinks, for instance, this will be a topic we'll have, ice fishing is better than open water fishing. I don't agree with him at all, but I can understand where he comes from. And I think that understanding, and hopefully we can get him on here and talk back and forth, will give you more information to maybe, I don't know, form your own opinion. You know, chatterbait versus spinnerbait, which is better? Find somebody that, you know, thinks one or the better, and then we can talk about it. And that way, I think a chatterbait works here better than a spinnerbait, so that's why I throw it better. Well, I think spinnerbait blah, blah, blah is here. So then you as a viewer and a listener can go, huh, I've never thrown a spinnerbait there. I've never thrown a chatterbait there. Why don't I try that? Maybe I've never tried a spinnerbait because a chatterbait is just the craze nowadays. So with the controversy, or the, excuse me, not the controversy, the debate back and forth, I believe there's a lot of information that is conveyed across the bow kind of thing. And you as a viewer who's trying to sit in the middle, maybe form your own opinion or hypothesis on each side of the controversy, the debate, you will learn something. And I've learned a lot about sports just listening to debate shows. Now, I know they're probably all fabricated and stuff like that, but I've learned information, stats, whatever. And then I kind of form my own opinion subconsciously just watching it. So, or listening to it, however you go about it. So, yeah, this is episode 1 of the POP, aka the Preston Outdoors podcast. I'm your host, Ethan Preston. Make sure you guys check out all the social medias we got here. We got Facebook, we got Instagram, YouTube as well. Go ahead and subscribe there. We're going to try and pump out as more videos as we can. And yeah, we grow all those social medias. Who knows what's going to happen to all these channels? Being able to be self-sufficient. Maybe we can travel a little bit more. We can film different places. I mentioned it here in the beginning, but another thing we're going to hopefully talk about is video editing, social media sides of things. Get some guys on here that are killing it in social media. And as you can see, if you can't see it here because you're listening to it, there's my big camera that I just purchased last fall in the background here. I mean, talk about how I'm personally switching some of my editing styles up, stuff like that. And I think it'll be great because if you're interested in getting into it, yes, the market's probably flooded. I got into it probably too late before the YouTube boom and video editing boom, but it's down to something that I truly enjoy. And I'm not going to go on a big tangent about that because that'll be a different episode where I get in behind the aesthetics of video making and how I really enjoy it. But yeah, go ahead and follow us on all theirs and all theirs, funny, all the other social medias and stuff. Your support, really, most people don't know this, but oh yeah, I see his posts or I see his videos, but I don't even know when I go down this path right now because this would be a great episode for someone else. But I'll just say this. You liking, you subscribing, you commenting on posts, not just my stuff, but any of your friends that are trying to make it grow their social media and stuff, literally with algorithms and data that can be conveyed and pulled out of social media and produced to or conveyed to companies when we sit down at the negotiating table. You're literally the ones that are helping us get to where we want to go. Yes, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff with video editing, all this other crap, but literally the support from the fans and growing our brand, no matter who you're talking about, literally from your guys' help is how we get to support our dream. So we'll go into that separate episode, but yeah, this is going to be a blast, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So once again, I want to thank you guys for watching or listening, and yeah, I'm excited to have some more episodes coming your way. So thanks for tuning into the Pop, aka the Preston Outdoors podcast. We'll catch you on the next one.